So today I want to talk to you about why ignoring your inner critic is never going to work. Now, if you're like most of the people I've worked with, I am not the first life coach or business coach or any kind of coach that you have come across. In fact, you've probably been surrounded by a whole bunch of gurus who have all kinds of really great, pithy things that they like to say that may or may not work. I mean, some of them are really great, but I am not the first person to talk about the inner critic. I'm not even the first person to name the inner critic a human name. By no means is that an original idea. However, so many of my colleagues who call themselves inner critic experts have some really, really lame ways about dealing with her. How many times have you heard people say to you, you know what? You should believe in yourself more. Don't worry about what other people think. Why do you care so much about what other people are saying about you? Stop waiting for everything to be perfect. You don't need to be a perfectionist anymore. You really should quit procrastinating and just get on with it. Just do it. Well, those are really lovely and all, but gee, if it was that simple, we wouldn't have a problem here, would we? Everybody out there is telling you to ignore your inner critic. Pretend it's not there. Pretend you're not having this inner dialogue in your head that's making you insane. Just pretend it's not there. Just ignore it. But here's why that's never gonna work. Because that voice, that Hilda in your head has been with you since birth. She was installed at birth just to torture us. And because you want to do something that matters. You want to change the world in some way. You want to shake the world by its shoulders. You're doing big, scary things. And so Hilda is on hyperdrive, trying desperately to hold you back. And if you decide you're just going to ignore her, you're going to pretend she's not there, even though we both know she really is, then you're never going to actually have the tools to actually do something about this voice in your head. See, here's where I differ from all of my colleagues. I don't want you to ignore your inner critic. I don't want you to pretend that you don't care what people think. You may always care what other people think. I don't want you to pretend that suddenly you're gonna just wake up one day and not care about things being perfect. You have high standards. I like that about you. I don't want you to pretend that someday you're just gonna take a pill that tastes like chocolate and suddenly you're never gonna procrastinate again. It doesn't work that way. I don't want you to ignore that voice. I want you to tune into that voice. Only once we really tune in and we start to hear Hilda's nonsense can we start to realize that it's not our truth. And once you can differentiate Hilda's nonsense from your truth, then you can actually address her nonsense. And I've got tools for days to help you do just that. But for today, this is the only thing I want you to take away from this conversation. Stop trying to ignore your inner critic. She's never gonna go away. She's been there since birth. She's going with you all the way to the end. But start tuning into her. Start listening. Start paying attention to what she has to say so we can call BS on it.